Hello, hello. I don't know if this is working, but I just needed it to test something, and how better to do that than to tell you a little bit um about core values and why they are important to job search. So your core values are very important to your job search, and that is because I just, by the way, had some myself in my ears here, so that's why I took out the headphones. Um, so core values are important in job search because when you don't know your core values and when you don't when you're not aware of them in terms of your job search, you really easily get misaligned. And when you're misaligned, there's so many things happening. You don't know what the right questions is to ask. You don't know what's important to you in terms of this new job, and you might actually end up in a job that might not right away, but then in maybe a year or two, wind you down into getting stressed or even depressed, and you might not vibe with the other people that are in the workplace. So it's really, really important to actually know your core values, because when you know your core values, you will be able to actually um, put in the time and energy to say, oh, does this company match my core values? Is it really interesting to figure out if like to work here sound really interesting, or is there something here? For example, for me, I have a core value of creativity. So, but the thing is, it's also important to know what is creativity for me, because the definition of that word or that core value might not be the same for me as it is for someone else. Um, Also, when you then have a mismatch, even if a company has creativity in their work, maybe creativity for them in their work is being very focused on um, creative output and doing design stuff like that. Whereas creativity for me is more of in a business, it's more being creative with ways to find solutions and to help other people. Um, Not like bookkeeping. Never be creative for that. But but it's important that there's a value match here. I have a value, and it's more of a um I don't even right now know which core value it hits for me, but I just know with every fiber of my body that I would never work for a tobacco company, for example. Because the thing is with tobacco companies, it's so against who I am. I grew up in a house full of people who smoke, and I've never done it. So I'm just like, ooh, my dad died of lung cancer. It's like it's so even before that though, it was just so far removed from who I am. So even with the most exciting job in HR or marketing or whatever it is that I want to be working in, I would not take a job with a tobacco company because it is so so against something like deep inside of me. And the reason I'm struggling, it's because I don't know which of my core values actually that correlates to. So that can also happen, of course, but listen to your intuition. Listen to what it is that feels right. But also, if you want to make sure that you have an idea about your core values, so I guess actually I know which core value it is. It's because I like helping people, and that's one of my core values, or another of my core values. And helping people die, not really my thing, which in my book, that's what happens when you smoke. You are just, yeah, that was not supposed to be a whole rant against smoke. People who smoke, everyone do you. But that's a core value that it doesn't fit in with me. It's the helping people. So I'm really glad I figured that out. So yeah. But what I want to say is if you want to figure out, because a lot of people don't really know or not aware about their core values. So I've made a way for you to find out, or I have an article telling you a little bit more about the values, the core values, and then also a way for you to actually figure out what they are. And I think it's really good. It's all about figuring out, for example, for me, creativity and uh, helping people are core values. And then you also have, let's say, um, being very environmental, and great idea to kind of uh, to environment. Yes, I love that. We should be focused on that, but also like it's not one of my core values. That's somewhere else, and our core values usually come from upbringing and stuff, so it's not something that it's just, yes, environment is very important, but it's not a core value for me. Not there's anything wrong with that, but that's just an idea to kind of think that what is it that's a core value for you, because figuring that out can actually help you. So that was it for me, because another, maybe not core value, but value for me is definitely getting enough sleep. And I hear my husband coming up. And so that is all for me for now. So have an amazing evening or day whenever you watch this. And